Hello everyone, Gaara here and welcome to a brand new deck tech video. Today I'm gonna talk about a Shaman deck. Oh, I'm always so excited when I talk about Shaman decks. It is a SMOrc Shaman deck, as the name of the deck says. You might have seen some variations of it already, but this is my creation and this is something I might even consider playing at the WCA, so this is serial business. And yeah, let's go with the deck list here. I play one Earthshock because I don't like the card too much. It's the reason why I play Earthshock over Owl is because I have insane amount of All Out in this deck, so 1 mana is a big difference. And I also run the Talnos, as you can see. So when you run cards like Talnos, it upgrades the value of Earthshock by a lot. And Silence is good to break through taunts and nasty like Death Rattle creatures. Also just to kill. I can sometimes Hound to Creepers or mini bots or the Rubin Eggs, so you don't have to deal with that. Like that the opponent cannot counter race you. Sometimes a big deal. So Lightning Bolt and Rock Biter, those are like the core removal cards, very cheap, very flexible as well. Like even if you coin out a Totem Golem, where is him? Like it's a 2-drop and he's so far down the list. I've never seen that before because there's so many 1 mana cards. Yeah, if you coin out Totem Golem, you have 1 mana, then you have access to a greater arsenal of 1 mana cards, which is very important because of the whole overload that is going on. And yeah, Lightning Bolt buffs the Tunnel Truck and kills almost everything that is played turn 1 and 2. So great card there. Rock Biter, absolute MVP. Probably the best 1 mana removal in the game. Yeah, it is the best 1 mana removal in the game. But Soulfire, like Soulfire is worse because you discard a card. Like the value of this card is great. You do 3 damage for 1 mana. It's like the best 1 mana card, and you can combine it with the Doomhammer to just do ridiculous amount of damage. So it's insanely good and absolutely core card in this deck. Lepranome. This card is also really powerful when you look at it. It is a turn 1 play and it deals guaranteed 2 damage if it doesn't get silenced, and so for a SMOrc deck, card is really good. Sir Finlay, just as well a really good card you can play on turn 1. You wanna start playing stuff from the beginning. You play board control. It's like a face hunter sort of. You wanna play board control till turn 3 or 4, and then you wanna start smoking him down with the Doomhammer usually. So by turn 5, so you don't wanna take too much damage before that. And then you just raise him in ridiculous lightning speed. In 2 or 3 turns, you just kill your opponents once you have the Doomhammer established. So you want to play a lot of early game creatures. So we have the Sir Finlay. It helps you give a good SMOrcish hero power. Like the best ones are the Hunter hero power and the Druid hero power. You can combine the Druid hero power with the Doomhammer to just deal 6 damage per turn, which is redonkulous as well. So. And the Hunter Hero Power also does a lot of damage when you have no other play. So, and it's a 1-drop that you can just play early on. And sometimes you get the Warlock Hero Power if you run out of cards. It's good as well. And sometimes you take a heal just to raise your opponent. It helps raise your opponent when you play against another SMOrc deck. If you heal yourself and you have the Doomhammer, then you will just outrace him anyways. So, and the Tunnel Rock, the absolute MVP, GG. Turn 1 card. If you have that plus a follow-up, then good luck dealing with that amount of SMOrc. Even a Reno Jackson will oftentimes not be enough. Double Sentinel's Knowledge. The card is on paper really bad, but in this deck it's really good because you basically draw 2 cards for 2 mana most of the time because of the Lava Shock. Great synergy there, and it helps you find all those cheap damage cards. And yeah, like you overload for a huge amount. Like the more you overload, the more value you get from the Lava Shock, and if you get an insane amount of Lava Shock value, then all those cards are really powerful. Like a 3 damage 1 mana card, drawing 2 cards for 2 mana, like Crackle dealing up to 6 damage for 2 mana, all that good stuff. And you can buff on top of that your other minions like Unbound Elemental and Tunnel Truck. So really good synergy. It's like a mech deck where every card is on paper not so good, but together the synergy makes up for it and they buff the cards by a lot. Talnos, because you have an insane amount of spells and sometimes also Blood Mage Talnos plus Elemental Destruction will basically clear every board. Knife Juggler is something you want to play on 2. I also like it against Druid to play into the Nasus Aspirant. A free 2 minion is a big deal, and the Juggles do a lot of damage. So your opponent has to kill it. It's like a high priority kill. And we want to have more 2-drops with this deck besides the Totem Golem. So Totem Golem, just an insane card. Nothing can kill it on 2 because the stats are too big. It's kind of like an Undertaker sort of when you look at it, because what made Undertaker so powerful was the double buff, which made it a 3/4, and you can't kill a 3/4. Yes, you can't buff this card more and you overload, so it's much weaker than an Undertaker, but to get an Undertaker buff was much more difficult. So, but besides that, so this is like a really good card, also against control decks, because it sticks on the board. And if you have the Tunnel Stroke before that, if your opponent can't deal with those 2 cards, then you're in a great shape. Elemental Destruction, it helps you so much. After the Doomhammer is such a good follow-up card. Yeah, it clears any board, and it's really good with the Lava Shock as well afterwards, because then it's basically a free mana card, so really sick Lava Shock value there. That's why I like playing it, because the Lava Shock value you get from Elemental Destruction is just insane. Spirit Wolf is not good, but because of the Tunnel Truck it is good again, because it buffs another card. It buffs your 3-drop to a 3/3, which is great, and you have the Lava Shock as well. Hex is obviously a great card. It helps you deal with innovate plays, it helps you deal with big taunts. You don't want to just silence them and ignore them, you want to remove them, and Hex is really good. It's the best hard removal in the game. Same with Unbound Elemental, you play so many overload cards, so the card gets insane amount of value. It's the best 3-drop. It's like the freaking slowest card in the deck, and it's a 3-drop, and it also has to be killed. And the Doomhammer, the finisher card. So as you can see, this deck is way more synergetic, and it plays good cards and not just stupid SMOrc, but it can also outvalue decks, and it's more consistent overall because it plays more like mid-rangey sort of minions like Unbound Elemental. Just an insane amount of value overall, and everything has to be killed. The Jugglers have to be killed, the Trucks have to be killed, Unbound Elementals have to be killed, and even if your opponent has like some heals and stuff like that, you can still win. Like even if you don't kill your opponent turn 6, turn 7, you don't need to run cards like Lava Burst. They're just way too weak on paper. Even with the load, they're just bad cards, you never want to use them. But all those cards I play are useful. Also if you just use them as removals or just to play minions, yeah, they're like better. Like you don't want to Lava Burst any minion ever, so it's a dead card. It's compared to Lava Bloodlust. So with that said, but it has more creatures, but so you have like a lesser chance if you go transition into, you have to top deck a lethal, you have like a smaller chance because you play so many creatures, but you have a way bigger chance to gain early game board control because of all those creatures. So I hope you guys like it, and I'm also gonna show you some games. I hope you enjoy it, and see you guys later. Peace.